Hello everyone, welcome back to Beginning with Ants. Once again, my name is Chris and thank you for joining me on my Outworld video. So today I'll have a two-part video. The first video I'll show you how I use grout to form an outworld with some of the red earth on top that I've purchased. And then the second one just using the red earth, and I'll go through how I've made my outworlds, why I'm using them, drilling the holes for the tubing that allows me to connect my test tubes. So to start off with the first one, it's the Grout Outworld. So as you can see here, I have my container which I bought from the reject shop for $2 and a plastic cup which I'll be mixing my grout up in. So it's very important that when you're working with any material, especially something like grout which is very fine, that you use PPE, which is personal protective equipment. We'll go into that in a minute. Now the grout I'm using is Davco sanitized color grout. It's available from Bunnings for about $8 for I think it's a 2.5 kilo bag. This color is the light grey, so it matches the white tong that I'll be using later on. Now the ratio you want to mix this is 4:1. Now obviously each brand will be different, so just make sure that you follow the instructions. As you can see here, I now have gloves on. I'm mixing up the mixture, which you'll see still stays quite runny, so I obviously use too much water. You're aiming for the consistency of a pancake batter. Now according to the instructions on this particular brand of grout, you need to mix for 3 to 5 minutes, let rest for 5 minutes, and then mix again, as you can see here. So I've let it rest. I'm still not happy with the consistency, so I've added a little bit more back in, mixing it up again, and as you can see, it's now starting to thicken up, which is the consistency that I'm looking for. It's a pancake batter, as I said, and this is what you want as per manufacturer instructions. You can see that it falls off the knife quite well, and that it's not stuck to the knife, and it's also not just running straight off the knife. So as I said, keep mixing, follow the manufacturer's instructions and go from there. I'm now ready to empty it into my container, which is what I'll do here. So you'll see that as I empty it into the container, I'm going to use this red sand here, which is what we call bricky sand in Australia. It's just a red earth they mine out, and a lot of brickies use it when they mix up their mortar for brickies, or when people mix up grout for tiling and things along those lines. This is some of the additives they can add. I don't add it into the mixture itself. I make sure I add it on top because that's the look that I'm going for. Now obviously I won't have the red down the side of the container, but that's okay. I'm happy with it. As long as it's on top, it'll look fine. I'm trying to get as much out of the container as I can. It sticks to the cup a little bit because obviously it is quite viscous, and that's what it'll do. Now I did ask a friend of mine who is a tiler by trade, and he mentioned that they like to shake quite violently their pails or their buckets they make it up in, and that hopefully releases the air bubbles. Whether it does or not, I'm not sure. I'm only doing what the information was for me, so I'm happy to proceed with that. Now I take off my gloves here. I don't think I need them anymore. I don't want to mix up the grout that I have on my gloves anywhere else. As you can see, I'm picking a little bit up off the ground. Now you can see I was a bit violent when I first banged the container on the desk, and it's put quite a nasty splash of the grout up on the wall. Now that's fine because when it dries you can just wipe it off. Grout's very forgiving like that. Another tip that I was given was to make sure you sprinkle some more grout powder over the top, which will help form a film over the top, and then to wet that film and then press down any bits that are on top. So basically you're adding, picture it like a lasagna, you're adding your main base and you're adding another layer on top, which just kind of helps to seal things in, which is what I'm doing here. So I'm now flicking some water so the powder that I put on top will mix in. I'll press down any bits that are sticking over the top or sticking out too much, and then I'll shake it again, and that'll give us a nice flat surface. This is, once again, it's completely, it's personal preference. If you want to do that, by all means, please do. If you don't think that you absolutely have to achieve a finish that you're happy with. It really is trial and error. Nobody's right or wrong. It really is what you're after. So I add gloves back on here to add on the sand. As I said, it is a red bricky sand. I purchased this from a local landscape store just near my house. It cost me, I think, $1 for a 5 kilo bag. You dig it yourself and off you go. It was fantastic. He did mention that the mine they get this from here in Australia or South Australia is running quite low, so that they've hit a bit of a shortage. So if you need to get in there and get it. But most landscaping stores should have this available for you to buy. If you're overseas, I'm sure there's an equivalent product you can use, or something that replicates the area that you're trying to go for. Obviously the outback is very famous in Australia, so that's what the look that I'm going for. So as you can see, I'm adding in little bits of dirt right around the border, just trying to make sure that I get everything covered. Once again, the same with the tiling grout. I'm adding some water to sort of just help it blend in and go from there, and just smoothing out any really big inconsistencies that I can see. And then as this dries, it will take a little bit longer to dry because you are adding extra to the grout. The grout that I have already is a 50-50 blend of grout and sand. It's a specific sandwich I put into the comments when I find out what it is. Then I'm just adding a little bit more of the dry dirt here, or the dry soil here. Just to once again, it's just I'm doing it because I think it's the right thing to do. Whether it is or not, I'm not sure. But thank you so much for watching. In our next video, we will show you, once the grout has dried, how we drill our holes using a hole saw. For introduction of some, it's actually aquarium filter tubing, and that's what I use to connect my my test tubes to. And then I'll also show you making just a pure dirt outworld, which is very easy to clean, very easy to do. It takes about 5 minutes and it's really simple. Anyone can do it. Thank you for watching the video, and if you liked what you saw, give the video a thumbs up, and if you want to subscribe, that helps me out even more. Thank you guys, and have a great day.